ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਨੇ ਗੀਤਾ ਮੋਹਨ, ਸਾਡੇ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਫੋਰਨ ਅਫੇਅਰਸ ਐਡੀਟਰ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਰਤਾਰਪੁਰ ਲਾਂਘੇ ਦੀ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਦੋਹਾਂ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਅਤੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲਸ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਅਟਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੀਤਾ ਮੋਹਨ ਨੇ ਫੋਰਨ ਅਫੇਅਰਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਰਤ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਫੋਰਨ ਅਫੇਅਰਸ ਐਡੀਟਰ ਨੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਟੂਡੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਣਨਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟਾਕਸ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਆਊਟਕਮ ਹੋਇਆ। Geeta, thank you so much for joining us on Punjab Tak.
Thank you so much, Harmeet, for having me here.
So, my first question to you is very precise and very concise, rather, and it is that what is the outcome of today's talks, given that they come exactly a month after Pulwama happened?
Well, so there has been a huge policy decision by the Indian government that talks and terror can't go together. But faith is a different matter altogether. And that's the reason why even after Pulwama, Indian government did not pull out of Kartarpur Sahib corridor. It's a matter of a huge religious symbolism and faith of the people on the Indian side. So what happened today was the meeting on logistics. Both sides had decided that there have to be meetings now on Kartarpur Sahib. There was one meeting that took place earlier, which was basically a huge event of agreeing to Kartarpur Sahib corridor. This was a crucial meeting on logistics. What sources told us was that there are some coordinates between India and Pakistan that are not matching. And if you're making a facility, दोनों तरफ facilities बन रहे हैं, एक Indian side और एक Pakistani side, and if you're making those facilities, the infrastructure have to be aligned. In what we were told was that where they were making it and where the Indian side was making it, it was not aligned. So one, they were looking at the coordinates to align the infrastructure because there's a corridor that would have to be made for the pilgrims to go. Secondly, the logistics aspects also included questions that Pakistan had with regards to whether passports will be allowed or not, whether it's going to be visa-free entry exit. I think there was a decision that they've arrived at, and in the press conference just now, what has been announced is that passport would be required.
Passport would be required. But, there has been a lot of demands from Indian side that let it be passport free access for the pilgrims from this side of the border. So, what are the irritants?
I'll tell you why. Because most of the pilgrims who are going from the Indian side, not everybody has passports. And it's the reason why Indian side said, let other documents also be a part of the Indians moving there and make it visa free. So I think this is the first round where they're saying, okay, they need an identification. Passports are the easiest identification. What Pakistan is saying is that aapke baki identity cards we will not know, but we will certainly know the passport as an identification.
So this just a second here for our audiences. So this requirement of passports has been insisted upon by the Pakistani side.
Yes.
And the Indian side rather was saying that let it be passport free. Am I right?
Yes, because the Indian side knows that not everybody has passports. Pakistani side insisted on passports, but the larger perspective is also this. The Indian side agreed on it, I think, because it helps in security matters. When people are coming back, it'll be easier to check. And keep a check on who is coming back, because one of the primary issues that was covered during this meeting is also security. That it has to be foolproof, fail-safe, and intrusion-free. The intrusion-free part is very important, and that I would like to ask you, Harmeet, instead, that when we speak about intrusion-free, the Indian side is only worried about one thing on the security aspect, and that's the Khalistani aspect. What is your reading on the Kartarpur Sahib corridor and the Khalistani elements, or the propaganda that India has been talking about, that Pakistan uses these holy places for propaganda?
Let me tell you about the situation in Punjab right now. Punjab has, I think it has moved on a lot. So Khalistan is no longer an issue. It's not at all, I would say if you move from Chandigarh right up to Amritsar, you don't see any kind of separatism there.
Okay.
What you rather see there is an interesting thing, and which is, you'll see that across the highways, across the streets, you will see, Canadian billboards and inviting students to prepare for English
That's
exams,
true.
right? So which takes us to the point that young Punjabi today is aspirant. He
Yes.
wants to move out and he wants to secure his future economically in countries like Australia, Canada, and the UK. So
You're talking about cities, towns, but what about rural Punjab? There are
Punjab
certain.
is mainly rural, and
Yes,
these
yes.
people
And what
are
about
from
them?
yeah.
What about those who are not aspiring to go abroad? Most of them are. You're right about that. But what about those who are more to do more connected to? And I will not say that faith brings about these elements, but who go there as a matter of faith. It takes a lot, right? Who travel there, and there you have in certain places we have seen in the past. Kartarpur Sahib corridor might not be that because Pakistan will have to bear the brunt of what India then has to, the consequences of that. But in other holy places, Harmeet, we have seen a lot of propaganda. Look at an example. Gopal Singh Chawla is a Khalistani sympathizer or a Khalistani himself, right? A day before this crucial meeting, he goes and meets Prime Minister Imran Khan. What is the messaging there?
And let me tell you one thing, Geeta, here, that so far as people like Gopal Singh Chawla are concerned, nobody knew them here in this
Yes.
part of Punjab, say almost a year ago. So suddenly we saw his pictures and he has zero following in India. That's one thing. It's absolutely clear. Nobody follows him. Number two, when we talk about Khalistan, now there are two political groups in Punjab. I would
You
say
mean
the
the
two
Punjab?
are Punjab.
Acha,
Are
Hamara.
Punjab. One is Shromani Akali Dal Amritsar of Simranjit Singh Maan, and the other one is which doesn't fight elections is Dal Khalsa. Both of them are on the margins, so there is no support whatsoever. Yes, whenever some big congregation happens, wherever some religious issues are involved, you would see some disruptors coming in with some kind of sloganeering, some kind of banners about Khalistan, etc., etc. And those characters who are fringe elements, tiny elements, I don't know who infiltrates them there, but they get there and they steal the media limelight. So it's kind of everything. For example, if there is an issue about, say, desecrations, which is a religious issue, you'll see them penetrating there, and suddenly you'll see that an entire propaganda is generated around Khalistan.
But do you think Kartarpur Sahib corridor will be different?
I
Because I know
don't.
the logistics are very different. They're doing everything they can to ensure that the Sikh pilgrims have an opportunity to practice faith without a problem.
Yes, I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't think that Punjab is any more a fertile ground to revive the Khalistani movement.
Okay.
It's not there at all, and it's more than in the movement officially ended in 1992 or three. But still, what is unfortunate here in this part of the world is that. Around every political event, you will see some politician, one or the other, would come out with this Khalistani puppet and will start showing it up. And I think it has, this is driven by political compulsions domestically. Then talking about, Khalistanis, some elements here, some there, some in Canada, some in UK. And I think it's all one way or the other linked to our electoral politics.
Well, that's right. But coming back to the Kartarpur, while you might want to see if there are some questions coming our way, in the meanwhile, I'll just explain the whole concept. It's a fantastic infrastructure that we're looking at. The Indian administration is planning state of the art facilities with with a terminal there that will be spread across 15 acres. They've acquired 50 acres of land for the entire facilitation center. There is going to be parking that will be able to park about 200 cars or more, and the entire concept. If you see the building, it's quite the architecture is modern. There's a lotus shaped gate. Inside there would be an entire projection of India's culture, and the whole structure is built on the basis of khandas, which is again symbolism of faith and unity. So a lot of messaging there. As much as India is trying to message to the world, Harmeet, they're also messaging to Pakistan that this is supposed to be a matter of faith, unity and oneness. Do not spoil that.
Yes, absolutely, because Kartarpur has its own, it's very high on symbolism, and I think, as you mentioned, that what India wants to convey to Pakistan and vice versa is that let there be a gateway to some sort of hope between the two nations. I mean, these two nations are arch rivals. So, given the significance of Kartarpur Sahib, and everybody knows about it, that that's the place where Guru Nanak spent 18 years of his life there after touring around a large part of the subcontinent and to the Arab world and back. So there he started the concept of langar, which was institutionalized there.
Yes.
And the Punjabi language.
Service.
Yes, the service. Also, the succession of Guru Nanak began at Kartarpur Sahib. So it's very high on symbolism and rightly called the fountainhead of the Sikh faith in many sense. So I would I personally feel that yes, let there be cultural contact one way or the other, and yes, let's see that how eventually it turns out to be when we reach the time when the 550th birth anniversary celebrations kick off in both parts of Punjab. So Geeta, thank you so much for joining in and letting our viewers know what all happened. Okay, one thing last, what happens next?
What happens next in terms of after this meeting?
Yes.
After this meeting, there are going to be series of meetings, because I don't think they've agreed upon everything. While they've come out and said that this is what they've agreed upon, we'll have to wait and see how the Pakistanis, what are the Pakistanis saying. There is always, when it comes to India Pakistan, it's never over. It's never a clear game. So there are going to be problems. They will have to sort it out. I see that unlike all the other areas where we have problems, over here there is absolute intent on both sides to at least make this work and make it functional. So I think they're going to work towards making it functional. The Indian side is very clear that security on the Indian side is going to be absolutely under Indian control. The 4-kilometer trek from the border up to Kartarpur is going to be under Pakistani security, and that Pakistan will have to provide. So we'll have to see how they take it forward from here on, and hoping that neither of the two countries hold Kartarpur Sahib corridor as a leverage on any other issue.
So will it be a visa-free kind of access, or will
I
it
think
be?
we're still deciding on it, because if passport is an identification, then visas being stamped. If they're making an immigration facilitation center right there, it's going to be smooth sailing for them. Otherwise, if it's just passport as an identification, they're just going to walk
And
through.
will it be open to all pilgrims or just the Sikhs?
I think for now they have confined it to Sikh pilgrims, because it's a matter of faith. They're doing it as a matter of faith, so only those who follow the religion would be allowed or will be accorded this facility.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਗੀਤਾ ਵਾਂਸ ਅਗੇਨ, ਐਂਡ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਬੈਕ ਵਿਦ ਯੂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਮ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਿਓ ਕਿ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਮੇਨ ਟਾਈਮ YouTube ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਘੰਟੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਟਨ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ।